Welcome back to Investing with Confidence, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. I am Josh Lilquist, and we are talking about investing with confidence. That's what we do on the show. We talk about investing, but also trading for the public. We call it the retail traders and investors, strategies and techniques to help you make smarter investing decisions. And our sponsor, Online Trade Academy, has classes that we gave tickets away to on that last segment to teach you those different techniques and concepts to learn how to make smart investing decisions. So text right now. Text the word investing to the number 210-210. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 free tickets and that quick start kit. This kit will help you get started right away. So in the last segment, we talked a little bit about the smart money, the institutions, the big money. This is who is actually moving the financial markets. Mm-hmm. It takes millions and billions of dollars to actually move a stock. In the case that you were talking about Buffett, when he was trying to buy a stock, it took him a series of transactions. And that's what us as retail traders need to identify is where are these big money institutions placing these trades so we can essentially jump along on with them and ride along their coattails. And think about how the markets have trillions of dollars traded per day. I mean, think about the Forex market. There's $5 trillion per day in there.
Right. Yeah, bigger than all the stock markets.
Exactly.
Combined.
So when they're moving these markets, moving billions and trillions of dollars, us retail traders with smaller accounts, 5, 10, 15, 100,000, maybe $1 million accounts, maybe $10 million accounts, we can't really move the market. So we're almost like a mouse, and we want to take pieces of cheese as they are moving the markets. But you have to first identify where they're doing that, and it all comes down to supply and demand. And when people are looking for income strategies in the market, sometimes the stock market isn't always the best place, right. And we talk about that in these investing classes. The stock market is a phenomenal avenue for income generation. It's been known. But the institutions aren't just trading the stock market. They have other assets, as Al was alluding to in the first segment, that they are using for income strategies. They actually call it fixed income strategies. Al, talk about those strategies. What are those assets, and why are they beneficial to us, the public, to make smart investing decisions?
Well, you mentioned, again, the Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, when he buys a stock or when he buys stock in a company, I should say, sometimes he buys the whole company, but when he's having a position put together, he doesn't just buy 10 shares, 50 shares, 100 shares. He may buy 60, 70, 80 million shares, maybe $10 billion worth of something. The great thing for us compared to someone like Warren Buffett or the big institutions, because companies like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, they will do the same thing. They put big positions together and they exit big positions. The problem they have is that they're so big, they can almost never get in with their full position at the price they want to at one time. And they can never get out with their full position at the price they want to get out at one time. They have to do it incrementally. As you mentioned, we don't have, and I shouldn't speak for everybody listening, but I think most of us don't have billions of dollars.
Yeah, billions would be nice with a B.
That would be nice, but the problem there is that you have the same problem that they would have. The problem we don't have is that we trade in small enough amounts where we can get into and out of a position right away at the price we want to get in and out of, which is a real benefit to us.
And that's an advantage.
Yeah, it is an advantage. And the assets that we're talking about, most people are put into really what is a long-term portfolio, even though their goal might be to achieve short-term income. And that's the go-to by Wall Street. It's that long-term stock portfolio or mutual fund portfolio. A stock portfolio is great for long-term buildup of wealth. But again, you don't put together a portfolio or position and then just let it ride, put it on cruise control. You manage that. But if you're looking for short-term income, if you're looking for cash, if you're looking for a way of boosting the returns you have and also to recoup quicker maybe the assets that went down in value at the beginning of this year, first half of this year, the markets have been down significantly. If you think now, you may be looking at the rebound that we're having, thinking, this is fantastic, I'm making a profit. You probably aren't making a profit yet. You're just getting back some of what you lost before any profit can be realized.
Yeah, there's still a long ways to go back up there. So that's why you need strategies for up and down markets, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But these different assets that we're talking about, the futures market and the Forex market, why are they so beneficial to the institutions, but also why are they so beneficial to us, the public?
Yeah, there's one more there, too, the options market. Those are the assets that the institutions use on a pretty much a daily basis. The futures market, Forex market, options market. And a couple of benefits that they have that in the reason that the big institutions use them. Number one, they are short-term in nature. They can be used for short-term trades, short-term investments. They have leverage, which means that every dollar that you're using or putting into a position actually controls a multiple of it. It's getting the maximum productivity out of every investment dollar. So you might have leverage that could be 10 to 1. 20 to 1, 50 to 1, 100 to 1. If you have 50 to 1 leverage, it means that you have the opportunity with a dollar to control $50 worth of something. That gives you great opportunity to have returns that might help you get back to where you need to be and start making a profit quicker. If you need short-term income, if you need additional cash, which a lot of people find themselves in that position right now, where maybe the income from their job just isn't quite enough to cover everything and have enough to have some fun. And then also, and this is really important, to fund your retirement, to fund that buildup of the wealth account, because the money for that comes from an overflow of what you get from your income. So if income from a job isn't enough, and we probably say this every week, the really, truly successful financial people in this country have multiple sources of income, which may be only one job or maybe no jobs, but there are sources of income that the market can provide. Futures, probably the best short-term trading vehicle. You're in and out of those positions very quickly. Doesn't mean you have to sit in front of your computer and watch it. In fact, we would tell you that that's the worst thing that you can do. How about being able to identify a proper entry point with protection and with an accurate profit target preset, so you can not even be in front of your computer when the activity or the action takes place for you?
Yeah,
you can do that with the futures market. You have so many choices. It's like a family of things. It's the major stock markets. It's commodities, which includes your favorite
lean hogs,
sugar, corn, soybeans. Oil, gold, silver, you mentioned oil, the dollar, currencies, interest rates. You can trade those within the futures market, which gives you the opportunity to have true diversification. Some things are not correlated. Some things are inversely correlated. Some things are correlated. So you can put together a true strategy that uses diversification to your benefit. Trades 24 hours, almost 24 hours a day, as does the foreign exchange market. 24 hours a day with 50 to 1 leverage.
Yeah. So basically, just to reiterate what Al was talking about earlier with short term. So, you don't have to be, as he said, at your computer for your trades and investments to execute. And it doesn't necessarily have to happen quickly either. So that's a relative term. Some people think quick is 1 minute. Some people think quick is 5 days. So these trades can last hours to days to even weeks at a time. And that's what people, especially institutions, are using for income strategies, because that's what it's all about, is having your capital or your cash work for you. And that's when you have a 24-hour market. You dictate when you trade and invest, when you place your investments. Once you do that, the computer, we actually have our own proprietary platform. It's called Click. It'll actually execute the orders automatically for you, so you don't have to be at your computer. So say you work during the day, you place your investments in the evening, and maybe they fill the next day or maybe the day after that. Mm-hmm. That's how you be like an institution and take the emotions out of trading and investing. And we have investing classes that dissects a little bit deeper into what futures is, how to have income strategies with that market, doing that off hours. So say you work during the day and you want that strategy in the evening, how that's done. We talk about all that stuff and actually show different examples with the futures market for income strategies. So come into one of these investing classes. These are free classes. They're about 2 hours. I was just teaching one yesterday. Allie teaches these as well. And these are classes where we've taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies, and these are designed to teach you to make better investing decisions. So get your phones ready. I'm going to give away some tickets for this class. You can bring you, So obviously bring you, but also bring your spouse. A lot of people like to bring their spouse with because
Glad you cleared that up.
yeah, I know. Just hey, sometimes it happens. But bring your spouse with because a lot of people like to make their financial decisions together, even if they don't want to learn and actually do it. It's just sometimes nice to do as a family.
Sure.
Text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210. This is for 2 tickets, so you can bring your spouse with. Also, that Insider's Kit, which will help you get started right away. So just to kind of talk through the steps of a trade. A lot of people think that you have to analyze companies or you have to, in futures, you have to analyze oil or silver or gold. You have to get all these different opinions on why it should go up or why it should go down. Let me ask you a question now. Do opinions move the market?
No, opinions don't move the market, Josh. And think about it. When you enter a position, regardless of what it is, whether it's oil or gold or stock, what do you want to have happen? If you buy a position, you want it to go up in price. So the important thing is not why it goes up in price, but is it going to go up in price? When is it going to go up in price? So identifying that price area, an accurate price, is the most important thing.
It is, yeah. So when you understand what that price might do, that's based off a price chart.
Correct.
And as I talked about earlier, our platform, Click, actually is where you get your data from on a price chart because that's priced within a certain amount of time. And that can't lie. So that's where you make your financial decisions at is on a price chart.
Right.
And that helps take the emotions out of your trading and investing. So in a little bit earlier, we were talking about futures for income strategies. A lot of people want to not necessarily be hands-off, but have more of a passive style of strategy where they may place trades once a week or twice a week or maybe once every month or something. Talk a little bit about options in Forex and why they're a little bit longer-term strategies for people that want income strategies.
Yeah, well, let's talk about options. With options, you have the opportunity to choose the time period that you're going to be in a position. And there are some strategies within that asset, within the options family, that are a little bit more long-term. You can have an option position that you're looking at holding for a couple of years. You can have an option position that you hold for a week or a few days. You have choices there. You have options within the options family, which gives you an opportunity to put together a strategy that fits within your style. What are you looking for? And that's the important thing is, what do you want the market to do for you? What do you want your financial life to look like down the road? And how do you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be? One of those assets might be most beneficial to you. That's why we look at everybody as an individual, as somebody who's unique with unique goals and desires and risk levels and all those things. So there is an option that's probably going to provide the best strategy for you, the best way for you to achieve your goals. Options, again, can be used in multiple time frames. It's a great asset to use for protection. We've been talking for months now about the necessity of protecting your assets. Options, and we probably mention this every week too, can be used as an insurance policy on a portfolio or an individual asset. Options can be used to boost the growth of what you have. Your return. You can have a portfolio of stock and never sell anything, but still have the opportunity to increase the returns over the normal movement of that stock using options. You can use options as a way of waiting, having the patience to wait for price to come to you to buy at a lower price or sell at a higher price. In the foreign exchange market, that sometimes the trends there, because we're dealing with governments that control their currencies, sometimes those are long-term trends. Sometimes they're more short-term. So you've got some opportunities both ways there too.
Yeah, and that's the key is to be able to utilize your time wisely. And if you want to learn more about the futures market or the Forex market, I know we're going to talk a little bit more about options in the next segment, but we have these investing classes to kind of show you that stuff. That way it's not foreign to you. It's not something that's new. It's just a little bit different. So get your phones ready. Text right now. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for some tickets. Text the word investing to the number 210-210, plus a quick start kit, which will help you get started right away. Now, coming up next, we have a lot of people planning to retire, and they don't want to do nothing. but their job income is going to be stopping. So what they're thinking is, hey, they want to have some income strategies during that time. Let's talk about that next. Coming up next, income strategies in retirement. This is Josh and Al, Investing with Confidence. We will be right back.